Welcome back to Detroit Wants to Know. We've talked about the mess in Lansing, but now we got a mess in Wayne County. My friends, Detroit, you've heard all about its foreclosure crisis, but you haven't heard about the outer ring suburb foreclosure crisis. I have my good friend, attorney Tarek Baydoun here, who has been dealing with this, who's been fighting for people of all races, creeds, and colors. Tarek, what the hell is going on? There's a pizza party and they wouldn't hear you about foreclosures. What's going on with this?
Steve, unfortunately, thank you for bringing attention to this issue, but unfortunately it took, I guess, the pizza angle to get people to pay attention to what is a very serious issue. We were at the Garden City Council meeting. There were at least seven families who were facing eviction after a tax foreclosure while they were in payment plans with the county. They were there to address the mayor. The mayor denied public comment, violated the Open Meetings Act. They got up and left. The excuse the next day was, I guess the funny or the spinning part, but, the pizza party. The problem here is, for the first time, cities are exercising the right of first refusal before the tax auction in organized schemes to transfer these homes from individual families who have paid off their mortgages and fell behind on taxes to a single developer who owns several entities. This happened this year. Our estimate is that there's a conservative $10 to $20 million transfer of wealth. You can either look at that if you don't feel bad for these families, and of course I do, and I'm willing to stand up and fight for them. We all should be.
But I thought you couldn't take homes like that unless it was for a public purpose.
That is correct. The law states that a right of first refusal by a city can only be done for a public purpose. In this case, this program was sold as an opportunity to take homes, rehabilitate them, empty homes I may say, vacant homes, rehabilitate them and sell them to homeowners, which is, in my opinion, a great public purpose. What is not a public purpose, very clearly, is taking people's homes who live in them and transferring them to a private developer purely for profit. There's no other reason here. If you look at the results of this program and the intentions of these developers, there is no other, there's no public purpose as to these families.
Is it true that a person actually tried to buy the home back from the developer and they wanted to charge almost twice what the developer paid in taxes?
Well over twice, yeah. There were a couple of families. A couple of families have actually been able to make deals thus far. But others were offered,
And this is with the developer, not the city.
The developer. So the developer is offering to rent these people their homes back, even sell them back at, much higher prices, and do absolutely nothing to the homes. So, I mean, if you look at, that.
He gets the homes in foreclosure. He pays a small price, whatever the tax owed. Yes. And then he offers to rent back the house that was paid for to the people that lost it.
Exactly. And in a lot of these cases, offers absolutely no value in return. So if you can imagine this, these individuals were actually eligible for a new payment plan that the state legislature passed, that Mayor Duggan lobbied very hard for. They were not offered this payment plan. Under this new payment plan, if you would have put 10% of the base tax, the delinquent taxes down, which almost all of my clients did, they would have been taken off of that list. It would not have been available to the city to buy in the first place. So we're looking at why these families were not offered that deal and other families were, unfortunately. These families did have deals, though. They had, a 20% payment plan. This is the payment plan that's been available in the past. And upon payment of 20% in past years, you were taken off of that auction block. They were told you could come back in August and pay and get your house taken off. When they went back in August to pay, they were told the city's got your house. When they went to the city said, developer has your house, too bad, get out.
What's next in the fight?
We may have to go to the courts. We hope that we don't have to. We're hoping that, stakeholders, legislators, people that can make a difference now, the Attorney General, frankly, can come in and weigh in on this issue because we think it's illegal.
Okay. Tarek, will you keep us informed?
Yes.
Because we care about our suburban neighbors.
Oh, well,
Some of my best friends are suburbanites.
And we appreciate Mayor Duggan's advocacy in the city of Detroit, but a lot of Detroit families were also, despite these efforts, not in the same exact situation, but have been victimized nonetheless, meaning they weren't in payment plans yet, but certainly they should have been able to get into these payment plans. They weren't offered these payment plans. So it affects everybody
Okay.
And you know, this just
Well,
happens to be, you know, a bigger problem in certain cities than others that actually allowed it to happen.
You keep us informed. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks for fighting for the people, man.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Detroit Wants to Know. We'll see you again next week.